Good day, my name is Norma Marcos. I live in Dover Plains, New York, and I'm originally from Guatemala. I'm going to tell you about my mother who is suffering from Alzheimer's. I haven't actually lived with her since finding out that she has Alzheimer's disease, so it's hard for me to explain what it's like living with somebody in that condition. She came here in 2014, and she started to forget things. She started having a hard time recognizing me. When she was dropped off at the airport, she thought that she was abandoned, but she was actually with a woman who is my mother-in-law, and she thought that she brought her to my house because she found her at the airport. And at that point, she said that she wants to leave. She asked me if 100 quetzal, which is the currency of Guatemala, will last her to get a bus back home. She kept telling me that she had to go because she had to go home and do things and see her children. She was always under the impression that she had to go back home because she had to do something. And that's how it was for 2 months, poor thing, because that's how long we had planned her visit for. They were telling me in Guatemala that, yeah, people forget when they get older. But I thought to myself, yeah, but this is getting pretty bad. And it was like that until 2017 when I went and I told my sister, maybe we should take her to a doctor so he can check up on her. And so my sister took her to a neurologist. That was when they told her that she indeed had Alzheimer's disease.
So when she came to visit you in 2014 in Dover Plains, you did not know that she had Alzheimer's disease?
No.
But you were seeing all of the symptoms.
I was noticing that she was forgetting things, but I just thought it was because of age. When she was here visiting, I had taken her to the doctor, but it was for her blood pressure, I think. I did mention to the doctor that she was forgetting things, but he said that in order to determine that, they would need to do a scan of her head, and that it would be very expensive to do here, and that she was only staying here for 2 months. And so it wasn't worth it for me to try and do that for her over here. And so yeah, that was her experience here. But then they started giving her medication.
Now, what other symptoms besides memory loss was she exhibiting?
She was repeating everything that she was saying. She was repeating everything. She would ask something, and then ask again, and then repeat to ask one more time. Did she recognize everybody, or were there moments where she didn't recognize people? In Guatemala, she recognizes everybody. Until today, she recognizes my brothers and sisters, but when I talk to her on the phone, or one of my sisters who lives about 4 hours away talks to her on the phone, she has a hard time recognizing us because she doesn't see us. Times she doesn't recognize my other siblings either, but in 2019 it has gotten a little bit worse. She has also started speaking very slowly. She doesn't really talk at a normal pace, and she also walks slowly.
When did you find out that she had Alzheimer's? In what year?
In the year 2017, around August, I think, because that's when she was already back.
When they had informed you that she had Alzheimer's disease, what was the medical treatment that they had recommended, and what was the family reaction?
As far as I know, they had given her medication. And from there, I tried to find some mind games, like mixing rice and beans and having her separate them just to keep her mind occupied. But now they're not really letting her do anything because they're scared. They don't want her to fall down. She's going to turn 81, so she's not even that old yet. But that's just the way things are.
Since 2017 up to now, what kind of changes have you noted? Has the illness progressed?
I think that yes, it has progressed, and it has progressed very fast. I used to talk to her every day, and I noticed that she used to speak normally. She would give me advice. We would talk normally like we always had. But now she speaks slowly. She doesn't even talk to me. And now it makes me sad to talk to her. Whenever something happens over here, I can't really tell her about it. So at this point, I don't really talk to her for my own sake. Sometimes my sister calls and says, "Oh, say hi to Mom." And so I say hi and she says, "Oh, hello," as if I was somebody unknown to her. She says, "Oh, I'm doing well, thank God." And then she says, "It's nice to meet me." But I don't think that she knows who she's talking to. I do know. I'm going to go visit her now soon so that I can actually live with her now. I would always ask that if Mom gets worse, that they please let me know, but now I'm thinking, why wait until she gets worse? It's better that I go now that I can. So now I'm going to go, like they say here, spend some quality time, so I'm going to spend 10 days with her. It's not a lot of time, but it's as much as I can be there for.
When your mother started receiving medical treatment, there was anything else that they told her to do, anything specific?
I had asked the same thing because I was under the impression that this disease has phases. I thought that at one phase we would treat her in one way, and then when it goes advancing, we would treat her in a different way. So I asked, and they said, "We don't know. The doctor says she's in this phase, but there's nothing really to do differently." So I'm very religious, and I always ask God that He doesn't make my mother suffer, because I know there are illnesses that cause pain. I'm convinced that God knows what He's doing, because my mom's husband, who she married after my father, he passed away. And right after his death, everything happened. He died in 2013. And then very quickly after that, everything started happening. I tell my sister that that's the reason why. And my sister, she suffered through breast cancer. Two of my sisters suffered through breast cancer, and one of them is now suffering from lung cancer. And so I think that for a mother, that must be so difficult to see her children suffering. But she's not actually feeling that suffering. At least that's what I think. I don't know.
Does your family have a history of Alzheimer's disease?
No. Well, I don't have grandparents. They died when I was very young. And my aunts and uncles, neither. And my father, he died when he was 55, very young.
None among your grandparents?
Not that I know of, no, but I can't tell you yes, because I've never even met them. But I think if they did, then I probably would have known something. But I don't.
If you could say something to the people watching this video, to people who have family members with Alzheimer's, what would you advise them?
I don't know about advice, but I can share that my mom, she was a very hard worker. My father, he died when I was 9 years old, and my mom was always selling tortillas. She was up early in the morning. Me and my brother, we would go to school, and she would always give us food. So it's hard to see somebody who is so hardworking during their life now fall into this level of forgetfulness. But I think it's better than seeing her suffer. Previously, she would say, "Oh, I want to lay in bed, I'm not feeling well, I don't want to eat." And then now she eats no problem, so that is a good thing. So the way I see it is that we have to be grateful for what God gives us, because He's going to give us what He wants, and we have to support that. And that we should take care of our parents whenever we can, because you never know what they're going to suffer through. And since I came here, I support my family economically, and I have only seen them 3 times since being here, and I'm 26. But what I can say is take care of them. Just take care of them. Try to talk to them, call them, try to support them economically, because there are a lot of people who are here who don't send money back to their family. And my home country is doing poorly economically, so any money that they can get actually really helps a lot. But the main thing is that we do take care of them. We take care of our family, and principally our mother.